Now on the Locked On Celtics podcast, Payton Pritchard does it again, and Baylor Scheierman, the underrated player in a blowout of the Lakers.
Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners. Baby.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. Your team's the Boston Celtics, and I talk about them Monday through Friday, plus bonus podcasts on the weekend. Throughout the week, who knows when a bonus podcast might drop. That means you got to be subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. Watch a show on YouTube, because you never know when new content will be dropping. Make sure that you are sharing the podcast. Would love to have you do that. And get into the comment section. If you're new to the show, let me introduce myself. I'm John Karalis, beat writer for Celtics on SI. And I've been doing this show for 10 years, and I've written a couple books about the team. I almost said my old outlet. I'm with Celtics on SI now. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Boston Celtics getting the 111-89 win over the Los Angeles Lakers. Later on, I'll talk about the bigs, Vucevic and Keita, Jaylen Brown. The defense, I'll save that for the second segment because the defense was really, really good. But I got to start with Payton Pritchard's night. Payton Pritchard was awesome again. I wrote last week on Celtics on SI the back door that Payton Pritchard has to becoming a Celtics legend. And here it was off the bench again, 30 points on 10 of 14 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line. He also had 8 assists, a plus 21, a game high plus 21, and just an incredible night from Pritchard. But Pritchard was, early on, he was just, you could see him getting into a flow in the second quarter. He beat a shot clock buzzer. He beat the halftime buzzer. He just doing Payton Pritchard things, right? Fourth quarter, when the Lakers were making a little bit of a run, right? It was a 12-point game or so, 15-point game. And I said, okay, here the Celtics have an opportunity. Beginning of the fourth quarter, make a run, put this thing away, get it to 20. And they didn't. The Lakers actually made a little bit of a run. They got it down to 9. And it was Pritchard who came out, 6 straight points, 2 straight middies, and then 2 free throws. And there you are, back to a 15-point game, and the Celtics were back in control. Pritchard just keeps finding his spots, that 10 to 12 to 14-foot drive, get your shoulder down, spin, turn, hit that fadeaway. Those shots have been there for him all season long. I think that's kind of like the story of his season, where in the past we just knew him as a guy who drove for sure. He would drive, he would do the classic little guard kind of bury the shoulder in, clear some space, then get the ball up off the backboard and finish at the rim. And he still does that, but not the same way. And we knew him as a three-point shooter, just a volume catch and shoot guy. This year he's creating a lot more. He has to create a lot more for himself. And he's talked about it, not settling for the three-pointer anymore. What he's doing now is, if it's not there, then he'll drive, and he won't just get to the rim. He's getting into that middle of the paint and hitting those turnarounds, those big, high looping turnarounds that it doesn't matter who's on him. I mean, I guess it matters if Victor Wembanyama is on him, but other than that, not a lot of people are getting that, blocking that shot or challenging that shot. He's perfected that mid-range shot. And I say this all the time. The fourth quarter, when you have a lead, just make buckets. I don't care where, I don't care how. I know you can say that about any point in the game. Obviously, you make buckets all game long, you're going to win. But you're running an offense, right? You're running an offense. You're targeting guys, throughout the game. We're going after Austin Reeves. We're going after Jake LaRavia. We're going after Luka Dončić. In the fourth quarter, it's just whatever opportunity you have to get a clean, good look, take it, make it. Don't let the other team get on a run. The Lakers made their run. Pritchard, turnaround fadeaway. Let me get to the shot, the shot that I know I can make. Boom. Gets there, makes it. Turnaround fadeaway. Boom. Turnaround fadeaway. Boom. Get fouled. Hit those 2 free throws. Baseline turnaround fadeaway. Hit that. Incredible. Pritchard has just been off the charts good since he become 6 man. 7 games now off the bench. 23.5 points on 54.5% shooting. He finished with splits of 71.5, 66.5, and 100. So forget 50, 40, 90. How about 70, 66, and 100? So Pritchard was incredible. Some of the shots that he hit, the poise that he has, the clock winding down doesn't matter to him. You can look up and see 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He knows exactly how much time he needs. That shot clock buzzer beater that he had, there was just a little bit of a pause. He caught, my as my camera, I almost knocked my camera over. He gets that, he gets himself into a spot where he sets the defense up, drive. They know he's just trying to get a clearing, snaps it back, right? The momentum's going one way, snaps it back. Boom. The defense is gone. You've now given yourself an opportunity. He just had a little bit of a pause. And boom, nails the buzzer beater. That's the beauty of Payton Pritchard. He just takes that little beat to get himself set. He's lined up. He sees it. He's calm. The winding down clock that you see, it's funny because it gets into single digits and all of a sudden the tenths of a second are rolling. It just feels faster. He's not bothered by any of that stuff. It's incredible. Just take your time, set it, boom, off it went. Money. He has the confidence. And Joe was asked about where do you think Payton gets his confidence from? Perfect answer. He gets the confidence from the work that he's put in. That's the answer. That's always the answer when you talk about confidence. The confidence is in the work that you've done, whether it's him taking that shot or me doing this podcast or you doing your job. If you have the confidence, I've done this. I've put the work in. I know you can, for me, I know I can turn this camera on and go. I know Payton knows that shot clock's going down, game clock's going down, no problem. I've put this work in. I've done this. 7-foot guy on me, no problem. 2-foot guy on me, well, that would be something, but no problem. Doesn't matter. He's put in the work. He has that confidence, extreme confidence. Doesn't always go perfectly, but he has extreme confidence. This game was just a beautiful A+ game from Payton Pritchard. The defense, I have to talk about the defense second. And it's nuts because Jaylen Brown had a 32-point game, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. And I'm not going to get to that next. What I'm going to get to next first is the defense on Luka Dončić, which I thought was a really, really good game plan and executed perfectly. That's coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. Prize Picks is giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. It's America's #1 app for sports picks. Prize Picks is very simple to play. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 stat projections. If your pick is right, you can cash in. If you choose, you can choose from basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, UFC, and a whole lot more. Plus, they've got game features like early payouts, flex pay, so you've got options while the game is still happening. Download the app. You'll be surprised at how easy it is to get started. It just takes a couple minutes to make your first lineup. They have a social feature where you can see what other people are playing and copy lineups in one click. Very cool way to learn and build better picks. It's available in all 50 states, so it's very easy for anyone to jump in. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. You're an everydayer. You're with me every Monday through Friday. Now join the Everydayer Club. You can get ad-free Locked On Celtics audio compatible with all the major podcasting apps. You can get access to our Discord server, the chats for Celtics fans, for NBA fans. It's all there in the Everydayer Club, lockedonceltics.supercast.com. I'll put the link in the show notes. It's $5 for the year. $5 per month, $50 for the year. So you save a couple, if you pay up front, you save a couple of months there. lockedonceltics.supercast.com. The defense on Luka was phenomenal. He ended up with 25 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a minus 21. Game worst, minus 21 for Luka. Didn't shoot well, 9 of 22. He was 4 of 7 from 3, but just at no point in this game did I think, oh man, Luka Dončić, he's in total control. We've seen games where Doncic has been in total control. This was not it at all. You kind of knew early on that this might be in Boston's favor because Luka, I was doing my live on the Castable app, my live kind of in-game analysis, and Luka was trying to post up Baylor Scheierman, and I was like, this is great. And he made a couple early, and I'm like, I don't care that he made these. This is great. Keep doing this. Post up turnaround fadeaway jumpers from Luka. I mean, it's probably an easy shot kind of for him, but he's not going to hit 100% of those. And he's hit 2 pointers with no one else moving. Yes, absolutely. And that's where the Celtics really just said, hey, here's Baylor Scheierman, here's Ugo Gonzalez, here's Jordan Walsh. Go for it. Just do whatever Now, Baylor, I thought Baylor has good size, and he kind of matched up well with Luka. And I thought he took the bumps, he challenged, he kept his arms straight up. You know, the high hands, the physicality was there. He did a good job on Luka. Ugo did a decent job too, but fouled a little too much, kind of fell into a couple of Luka's traps. Okay, that's rookie stuff. A couple of rookie calls probably in there. But I thought that Ugo, in 2 years, that Ugo doesn't make some of those mistakes. So, but still, the plan was kind of perfect. And I thought there really like a couple of stats here that highlighted this, what made this Celtics win, aside from Payton going berserk. Luka Dončić had 3 assists. That's a huge, like 3 assists for Luka. No, that if you get that, unless he's scoring 60, you're going to win that game. The other telling stat at halftime, Austin Reeves, 9 points. That's another stat. So that's 2 stats The third stat for this, the Celtics defensively, the Lakers lead the league with 26.7 free throws attempted per game. They attempted 18. So 8 below, almost 9 below their season average. They make 20.5. They made 12 in this game. So 7.5. So basically 8 points below their season average. In a game that started out tied, and the Celtics built it out to 10 at halftime and built it up to 14 in the third quarter. You know, those 8 points along the way, maybe it's not tied after the first. Maybe it's the Lakers by 3. Maybe it's not a 10-point Celtics lead at halftime. Maybe it's Celtics by 5. And it's just that little bit of, 5, double digits is one thing that it feels different. And the fact that the Celtics didn't foul was a big reason why the Lakers weren't able to win. You look, if Luka's getting 3 assists and the Lakers are not scoring 20 plus points from the line, the Lakers are definitely losing that game. You can easily look at that box score and say, 3 assists. That means you're not getting anything from like DeAndre Ayton, 4 points. What? Nobody on the bench scored more than double digits. 9 points for Luke Kennard. 5 points for Rui Hachimura. It's not going to get it done. Not at all. Marcus Smart started 0, nothing. 0 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3. Just did nothing in that game. Even LeBron, 20 points, 9 of 21. Nothing here that's scary. Austin Reeves, 15 points, 6 of 7 from the line. Austin Reeves is one of those free throw merchants. He's usually at the line like 9, 10, 11, 12 times. So great defensive game plan. Obviously, you held them to 89 points. The shooting was, they didn't shoot well. They didn't even shoot well from the line. They were 12 of 18 at 67%. So just that was fantastic. And look, Jaylen was not efficient. In my player grades, I gave him an A- because in the second half, he was much better. He was 3 of 12 from the field in the first half, 7 of 10 from the line. He started off kind of shaky at the line too. Then in the second half, 7 of 16. He scored 19. Pritchard scored 19. Celtics scored 51 points in the second half. Pritchard and Brown combined for 38 of them. So 13 points for everybody else. It wasn't exactly a dominant Celtics performance. No one else really did anything. Jaylen, as far as scoring anyway, Jaylen and Payton did all of the scoring, especially in the second half. Jaylen settled down a little bit. I didn't like some of the shots he was taking. The very first shot of the game, I didn't like it. It's the first possession, and he comes down and he takes an early offense 3-pointer, which it was, run a little offense, run a play. Give me some set play to get things going. But he settled down in the second half. He was part of that fourth quarter. He dominated the third quarter. He had 11 points in the third quarter and helped the Celtics kind of build that lead out to 14. And then he helped close out things in the fourth. So it's kind of nuts. I've said this before, but Jaylen Brown puts up a 32.8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steal night. And you're like, he was good. He was good. A- game. A- because he shot 10 of 28 and he had 5 turnovers. But he was a plus 18 and 32, 8, and 7. You got to get an A something. So A- for him in this game. If we want to do a couple of other quick player grades, Baylor Scheierman, I gave him an A-, mostly because of the defensive job that he did, but he was 1 of 4 from 3. Sam Hauser, if I can just say one thing I didn't like about this game, Sam Hauser, who I gave a B-, comes out and hits 2 early 3-pointers. And you're like, wow, here we go. he's starting to feel it. You have to foster that. You have to fuel that. If the Celtics have a weakness, it's they don't have that pure kind of point guard type of player. Like Derrick is a great point guard. Payton can be a great point guard, but they're scoring guards. And like Derrick passes very well, but Derrick's not primarily a facilitator. He is a scoring guard who passes really well and makes great reads. So, but that's different. What I'm talking about is the guy who understands, like I compare, like Rondo is my example as far as Celtics go. Rajon Rondo knew what everybody was doing. He knew he had a feel for the game. He knew, oh, Ray Allen is hot. Got to keep feeding him. He had total control. He understood, okay, KG hasn't gotten shots in a little while. I got to feed him a couple now to keep him happy. Paul hasn't touched the ball in a bit. I'm going to let Paul handle things for a little. It's just the conductor, the maestro. The Celtics don't have the maestro. And that, which is fine. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing necessarily, but on a night like this where Sam had it going, kind of needed someone to maestro this and say, hey, we're not gonna go this route. We're just gonna feel this out. We're gonna explore this studio space. And you don't need to just get Sam some shots. You just need to take advantage of the hot shooter. Get him the ball and let the defense overreact to him. And he'll make the right play. Sam will make the right play. Unless he's hit like 6 in a row, and then he might take that 7th one. But he'll make the right play. And that's just, you have to, in that situation, when it's Sam Hauser, when he's clearly feeling it right away, just skew it a little bit towards Sam. Let's see where this takes us. And there are a couple of opportunities that they missed. Jaylen missed one where he just had Sam wide open in the right corner, and he ended up kind of taking a contested shot. I just didn't like it. It's weird for me to say in a game where they led by 20, but they didn't lead by 20 until the 4th quarter. They could have led by 20, I think, earlier in this game. And Sam, I think, could have been the real impetus for that. The game could have gone a little bit differently. But that's nitpicky, maybe, sure. But that's the one thing I didn't like. All right, let's come back. We'll talk about Vooch and Keita, the yin and yang, and just kind of what the Celtics need to figure out with those guys. That's coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to get to the NBA Finals and see them in person, FanDuel is giving you a chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future. You'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2 flights, tickets, the whole thing. If you're already looking at the board and you want to see which team can make a deep run, maybe you think it's the Celtics that can make a deep run. This is a perfect time to lock it in. Futures this time of year are great. You can pick a team to win a championship, grab a conference title. It adds an extra layer of excitement and to every game down the stretch. And not only can you pick cash, now you can maybe get to the NBA Finals too. With FanDuel.com, you can go there to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future. Get entered for your chance to win that trip to the NBA Finals. When you get there, set your limit, set your budget so you can gamble responsibly and enjoy your time there. If you hit a cold spell, they'll stop you and just pick it back up later when you have some more disposable income. So check it out. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Today's show is also brought to you by TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish. No stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out all of your forms, which I hate, but I know how long it takes, you can just hand everything over to a TurboTax expert or you can connect online. They've got everything handled. W-2s, self-employment forms. They give you every deduction they can find, and you can also just upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver. Gives you real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling everything. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year, this is your last week to get this deal because you just got to file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate. Get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Check out Locked On NBA, Locked On NBA Game Night, 2 podcasts on the same feed. They will have every game covered on Game Night and all the big stories covered on Locked On NBA. So make sure you are subscribed wherever you get your podcast, wherever you found Locked On Celtics. So the Celtics had an interesting kind of decision to make with their centers. I thought Neemias Queta did a great job, right? He did a great job defensively. He had his offensive moments, but defensively, some big block shots, maybe a goaltend in there, but did a really good job. Vucevic, both of these guys who I gave B pluses to, he did a great job offensively. Now he also got 8 rebounds, had a nice steal, nice poke away, but the offense ran better through Vooch. And I thought that was a game where they needed the offense a little bit more. And it really was a yin-yang night because of these two elements. The defense suffered a little bit, but you needed the space to you needed a floor spacer. You needed to get their big Rui Hachimura or DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton did nothing. I mean, he really did nothing in this game. But you need to get him out of the lane just to open up some space for these guys to operate. And I thought Vucevic did that. And that helped Pritchard get going. And it helped Jaylen get going. I think offensively, Keita might have been just in the way, just a little bit. Not huge, but just a little bit. And it's just going to be an interesting kind of decision throughout the season where when do you go to one? When do you go to the other? Man, if you could fuse them together, they'd be something. But the decision's just going to be an interesting kind of needle to thread for Joe Mazzulla. And it's just going to be different with different matchups, right? So going up against Nikola Jokic, it's going to be an impossible job for anybody. But, you know, Keita has some strength. But Vooch is going to pull Jokic out of the lane. And that's where they want him. So it's some nights it's going to be just a little bit of a shorter stint for one, a little bit of a shorter stint for the other. And they're just going to have to figure that part out individually as a team. They're just going to have to accept, hey, maybe tonight I'm coming out at the 10-minute mark. I'm playing 2 minutes and it's a realization that, oh crap, this isn't working. We're going to go to the other guy. We're just going to change where you play and when you're on the floor. And they just both have to be open to that. It's going to be the Vooch dynamic is interesting because he's so used to being a starter and playing a ton of minutes. I don't know how he's going to handle that. He seems like he's going to handle it well. I would expect him to handle it well because he knows. He said that when he first came in. I understand my role is going to be different. So I'm just very curious to see how that pans out. That really is, aside from Jayson Tatum coming back, which I still believe 1,000,000% Jayson Tatum is coming back. Aside from that, the Vooch Keita thing is the next big storyline. And Luka Garza falling out of the rotation is unfortunately predictable part of all of this. So And I thought this was just an interesting game where it was on display. It was very much on display. So, all right, well, that's it. Celtics beat the Lakers. Did it just a slow, steady march. It was like the water torture. It was just a drip, drip, drip. And they just did a good job. I liked it. I thought it wasn't the smoothest all the time. And Derrick White, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 13 shooting. Did I even get to him? He needs to shoot better. I will end on this. They did make a ton of hustle plays. Like there were 3 or 4 different plays in this game where I was like, man, they just wanted this. They wanted that ball more in that time. And Derrick did a great job there. But it just need him to hit shots. He's got to figure out how to hit shots. Maybe it's just get Tatum back. Maybe that helps. Maybe him and Tatum playing together that's the combination. You just need Derrick and Tatum playing together, and Jaylen and somebody else. Maybe it is Jaylen and Vooch. I don't know. But however it is, Derrick needs a little bit something extra. But he was still a plus 18. So he did other things. 12, 8 assists, the 5 rebounds. It's all good stuff. A block, a steal. I mean, everything else is typical Derrick White. So yeah, Hugo Gonzalez treated like a rookie. That's my last note. All right. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow or all week long. In fact, this is the Celtics play on Friday. So I have a bonus podcast coming up because they play Friday night. So Monday they're off. They got Tuesday night in Phoenix, Wednesday night in Denver. The 40-20 rule is still technically there. The Celtics are, let's see, they're still in the 2nd seed at this point, a game up on New York. So the Knicks won tonight. Let me see. I haven't even checked the other scores yet. Yep, the Knicks beat Chicago. So that means Cleveland lost. Where is Cleveland? Yep, they lost to OKC. So it's Boston, then New York a game back, and then Cleveland a game behind New York. And yeah, so the Celtics are 37-19. Can the Celtics win the next 3 in a row and get to 40-19? Man, that'll be something. If they can do that, I did not expect them to get here, but they've won 3 in a row. They're 8 of their last 9. So they're rolling a little bit here. Can they get to the 40-20? Can they continue to meet the little kind of check marks of a potential champion? I can't believe we're even talking about this. I can't believe it, but here we are. They're 37-19. Even if they get to 41-20, like that's still an amazing accomplishment. So, all right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, being in every day or being with me every Monday through Friday. That bonus podcast is coming up after the Brooklyn game. Bonus podcasts throughout the week, just randomly, they'll drop. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube page, and then share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.